This committee is well aware that the 2014 search along the southwest border caught the Department of Homeland Security by surprise. It was almost completely unprepared. The lag in response and the resulting executive actions have proved disastrous in the years since. Current immigration law and enforcement have taken a clear backseat to policy and political gain. I've heard the same trope here today. It is not illegal to seek asylum in the United States. We all know that. It is not illegal to seek asylum, but the reason you seek asylum is because you're here illegally in the United States. Asylum is a defense to being in the United States illegally. So that is totally meaningless, and I've heard that 3 times already today. Current immigration law and enforcement have taken a clear backseat. It has become all too apparent that the administration's own actions have largely contributed to this search, and I'm truly offended that this crisis on our border could be labeled as the new normal or to be actually accepted as something that is normal. As we now face the start of another possible search, I look forward to working with the committee to continue this discussion beyond today's hearings and to create a viable solution to our crisis. Mr. Judd, what is the percentage of people who appear in court after an NTA?
There's been several hearings on this topic, and it's been as much as 80% according to Senator Johnson, and as little as 40% according to other statistics. The actual number is not completely known, but it's somewhere in between that.
Between 40 and 80%, is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry?
Between 40 and 80%?
Yes, sir.
Based on your communication with Border Patrol agents along the southwest border, do you believe that we're at the beginning of a search similar or worse than what we witnessed in 2014?
We're actually seeing a lot more at this point than what we did in 2014.
Do you believe that the Border Patrol currently has the resources, including manpower, to adequately respond to the growing surge?
No, we don't.
Your written testimony gives us very clear examples of the flagrant disregard for our immigration laws. You refer to it as mere suggestions that carry little or no consequences. How would Border Patrol be better equipped if agents were not required to comply with priority enforcement program directives or policies mandating release?
Well, at a minimum, we would set up deportation proceedings on these individuals that we arrest. But unfortunately, right now, as long as they claim to have been here before January of 2014, we just let them go. We don't even set them up for...
And they don't even have to prove it, as you said in your testimony. They just have to claim it.
They just have to tell us that they've been
And an attorney could suggest to them that all they have to do is claim it because they're not, right?
We actually, a lot of agents will actually ask them where they heard this from, and they'll tell the agents, well, I was just told to tell you.
Okay, and you say a lot of agents say that they were told to tell them. So when they come to you, do they tell you that they're leaving those countries because of the violence for the most part?
There's 2 separate individuals that we have to look at. The juveniles, when we first arrested them starting in 2014, they were told that all they have to do is ask for asylum. And right now, the Border Patrol has actually told us that we can no longer ask them that question. Why are they coming anymore? Can't even ask that question. In some places we still do, but we're being told that you can't even ask why they're coming here.
What do you think are the consequences for agents who are unwilling to comply with these limiting policies?
They'll be terminated.
So for wanting to enforce the law that is in the books, they're going to be terminated from their jobs?
Absolutely. If they do not comply with the policies that are given, we could...
Have you had any experience of any agents being terminated?
No, our agents comply with the policies that we're given.
What can this committee and this Congress do to assist the Border Patrol in its mission and in order to respond to the growing surge?
Well, the first thing is we have to understand that the laws are the laws. Policies should not trump the laws. We shouldn't be able to bypass Congress and set policies to trump the laws. And as long as we're enforcing the laws, again, if these juveniles or family units would come through the ports of entry, that's legal. That's perfectly legal if they would come through the ports of entry and ask for asylum. But to cross the border, that is illegal. And therefore, we must support a consequence for that.
Thank you. Mr. McCraw, what would happen? You have vast experience with law enforcement, so I'm going to ask a question not about immigration. What was your area of expertise when you were in the FBI?
It was organized.
Yes, sir.
It was organized crime,
Organized
in
crime.
mafia, Mexican drug trafficking organizations, Colombians, and
So,
counterterrorism.
so if I would have sent a message to the organized crime community in your area that, hey, it's illegal to do X, but we're just not really going to enforce it, what would have happened to organized crime in that area?
They're always going to exploit the seams. As Agent Judd appropriately noted, that they're very flexible, adaptable, and networked, and they're going to exploit all opportunities, including the recruitment of our children.